Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at the great little Pokemon from Sun and Moon 8 Super Burst Impact. These are the Pokemon, the evolving Pokemon, that you wouldn't really play because they're evolving Pokemon, except if you want to play the evolution, you've got to play the pre-evolution, and these are pre-evolutions that stick out as being particularly nice. Now, there are a few we've already looked at, so I'm not going to go into much detail here. There is the Spinarak, which has automatic paralysis and automatic poison. Then you pop it in the Lost Zone. Great in a Jumpluff deck where you're playing Grass Energy anyway. And of course, Jumpluff does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your Lost Zone. So using Spinarak means you do an extra 20 damage. Quite nice. We've already looked at Natu, who has the exact same attack as Jumpluff, 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in the Lost Zone. And we've already looked at Trumbeak that you can put into the Lost Zone from your hand. Again, these are all pretty gosh darn good in Jumpluff decks. All these ones we've previously looked at, I will of course link videos to them in the description so you can go and have a gander. And then just yesterday we looked at Alolan Meowth, who as long as you go second on your first turn of the game, can do 70. Great for donking. And a while ago we had a look at Poipole. Poipole just lets you look at your face down prize cards. The great thing about this is that it means you can do fun stuff like know where your Jirachi is, which is great in terms of being able to draw Jirachi as a face down prize card and therefore get an extra prize. The weird thing about this set is there are a whole bunch of Pokemon that are clearly better than the other one in the set, but have got 10 less HP. I'll give you a few examples. So, if we look at the two Hoppips, there is one that for a colourless energy lets you search your deck for a Hoppip and put it onto your bench. It's really nice to get more basics out. Sound good? The other Hoppip's got 40 HP. 30 HP is terrible because it means Buzzwole can get a one-hit KO even if you're on the bench. And if there's two Hoppip out, both of which have 30 HP, one Buzzwole for one energy can KO both of them. We've got Cyndaquil. Now, Cyndaquil's got quite a nice little attack here, which allows you, for one fire energy, you do 10 damage. And then, if the defending Pokemon tries to attack next turn, flip a coin. And if they don't flip a heads, they don't get to attack. But there's another Cyndaquil in the set that's got 70 HP, which is clearly better. There is a Mareep, which has got an ability I really like. If you're in the active, you can just put your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep. That's a really nice ability. But there's another Mareep in the set that's got 60 HP. And then we've got Chikorita. Chikorita's got a really nice attack for one colourless energy. Search your deck for a grass energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Now you've got to attach an energy to Chikorita in order to do this. And honestly, the Meganium, it's that one that's got the ability that lets you just evolve a basic into a stage 2. No rare candy needed. It does not have to have been down for a turn. So to be honest with you, you're unlikely to actually be playing Meganium with grass energy in a lot of decks, or then maybe in something like Sceptile, but it's still a nice attack. But then there is a Chikorita in the set with 70 HP, which is kind of annoying. The really interesting one here is Larvitar. You see, there's a 50 HP Larvitar that's got a really nice attack that says when this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. It's even called Submerge. It is in fact the exact same ability that the Magikarp from Crimson Invasion has, and that the Feebas, which is coming in Dragon Majesty, just been released in fact, has as well. So that's a really nice ability, but then the other Larvitar's got 60 HP. So you generally want to play the 60 HP, although I do think this ability on Larvitar might be good enough that we'll play it anyway. What's really kind of cool though, this Larvitar, for just a double colourless energy, does 10 damage, but if your opponent's active has 3 or more damage counters on, you do 80. That's really good. Now, to be fair, you have to put the damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. But that's still really quite a good attack. That's really, really fun. And then actually, if we have a look at the Pupitar from the set as well, the ability Bullet Evolution, I should point out, and you probably guessed, but just to be clear, all of our translations in this video come from the lovely David Hockman. And that basically says that when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can just make it invulnerable, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon's attacks. And of course, we've looked at Tyranitar, and I will link the Tyranitar video in the description as well. I will try and remember to link all of the evolution videos in as well. So if you're looking at it going, okay, fine, I like all of this discussion about Cyndaquil, but what about my boy Typhlosion? Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I will link all of them in the description as well. There'll be quite a few links in the description, so do make sure you check them out. So Tyranitar's a big bad Pokemon, but it's a stage 2, it takes a bunch of energy, it's a little bit slow. But having a stage 1 where you evolve up and then you're immune for a turn, that's pretty nice. And what you could potentially do here is if you get, say, 3 Larvitar turn 1 and evolve all of them into Pupitar turn 2, your opponent can't really do anything, which is kind of fun, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I suppose they could poison you, etc., but they can't attack. Potentially my favourite of the evolving Pokemon here is actually Snubbull. Now, Snubble's got 70 HP, which is higher than average, it's pretty nice, and it's got a retreat cost of 2, which sucks, blah blah blah. But what's really nice is the attack. 1 Fairy Energy, 20 damage. Discard 2 Trainer cards from your hand. This attack does 20 damage for each one that you discard. Now, okay, you're only going up to 40 there, but you had a choice band on here, you're on to 70, add weakness against something like a Rayquaza, and you're actually up to 140 damage. That's really quite nice. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got to discard the trainers from your hand, that's less than ideal, you might not want to discard them, etc, etc, etc. But this is really quite nice in terms of just getting a little bit of damage on the field in the early game. I'm also quite a big fan of the Houndour here. Now, to be fair, you can like or not like Houndour, but I really like Houndour here. What you do is, for 1 colourless energy, you get to draw a card for each of your Houndour in play. That's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. That's ridiculous. We like Lapras has got an attack for 1 water energy on a GX, which draws you 3 cards. This draws you 4. Now, I'm not sure if Houndour is worthy of being like a quad deck, but this is a really good attack. It does fit quite nicely with Houndour, of course, that lets you just search your deck for any 1 card. They are really good Pokemon for helping you set up. I don't know if you'll ever play a quad Houndour deck, but remember, when we're looking at these little Pokemon, it doesn't have to be now. You don't have to be playing this Houndour from this set. Any Houndour that's ever released can take advantage of this Houndour, and that's pretty gosh darned exciting. And the last one I want to mention here is Mareanie. Lets you flip 2 coins. For each heads, you do 30 damage. That adds up really quite quickly. I mean, if your opponent's playing something like a 60 HP Cyndaquil, you just need to hit 1 heads here and you get the KO. Which, again, is just another reason why, even if the 60 HP ones look better, they've got to really, really, really be better in order for you to actually want to play this. Because, honestly, there's such a huge, gigantic difference between 60 and 70 HP. But for 1 water energy, this really is not bad at all. I would consider myself quite the fan. And heck, while we're here, let's just have a quick shout out to Pineco here, which lets you flip a coin until you hit a tails, 20 damage for each heads. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance you won't do anything, so it's not a great attack, but worth having a little bit of a look at. I think it's kind of upsetting that so many of the basic Pokemon in this set have either 10 more HP or a good attack / ability, but that's probably a very deliberate thing, trying to make us think carefully when we're building our decks as to which of these evolving Pokemon we actually want to use. And I don't think we can be particularly mad at the card designers here for trying to make us make intelligent choices. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's over to you. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me which of these evolving Pokemon look fun, which ones do you want to use, which ones you think could be quite a good play. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. But do remember the rule, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice. And obviously, if there's any you think I've missed from the set, do please chuck them in the comments as well. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, hang on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.